Okay, so in this video, I'm going to teach you how to simplify algebraic expressions. When we simplify algebraic expressions, it means we are combining expressions using addition, subtraction, sometimes we use multiplication and division. So it is very important that you know how to add expressions, like when can we add an expression with another expression. Okay, so you need to know those sorts of condition. Okay, so just to provide you a quick review on how to combine algebraic expressions, let's say I'll give you some examples. Let's say I want to have 4x plus 9x. So 4x plus 9x means 13x. So I have 4 of x, and then I have to add 9 of x. So 4 plus 9 is 13. So I have 13x. So some people will explain this to you as think of x as an object, like think of it as an apple or a fruit. Okay, so for any example of fruit, plus 9 of that same fruit will give you 13 of that fruit. Okay, so 4x plus 9x is equal to 13x. Sometimes you will get like 4x minus 9x. So you work on it as if you're working with numbers. So this is 4 minus 9. So 4x minus 9x is 4 minus 9, which is negative 5. So this 4x minus 9x is negative 5x. Okay? And for some straightforward expressions like 9x minus, say, 4x, so think of 9 minus 4, so that's 5. So you're subtracting 9x and 4x, so you have 5x. Okay? So you should know how to add, you should know how to subtract expressions. So some note, keep in mind that we can only add expressions when they have the same variables. So for example, if I have 4x plus 9y, I can no longer combine this 2 because this is x and this is y. So you can think of it as like there are 4 apples and then there are 9 oranges. So you cannot make the 4 and 9 as 13 under a single fruit because apples and oranges are not the same. Yes, you can say 13 fruits, but you're no longer using the word apples and oranges. So hence in algebra, if you have different variables, then that would mean you cannot combine the two. Sometimes they look the same, but actually they're not. Like say 4x plus 5x squared. So although they're using the same letters, the first x is just x, while the second one is x squared. So they're not similar terms. Similar terms should have like exactly the same variable. If it's x, it should be x. If it's x squared, the other should be x squared as well. Okay, so those are some of the things that you need to note in adding or subtracting algebraic expressions. Okay, now I'll take you to a more advanced example. Okay, so let's say I have example. Suppose I want to simplify 4x minus 20y and say plus 8z minus 9x plus 15y and then minus 12z. Okay, so how do we simplify this? Now if you take a look at the expression, it is involved of x, of a y, and a z. Okay, and that you also have x here, you'll have y here, you also have z here. So from the initial discussion a while ago, the main idea is you can only add similar terms or subtract similar terms. So you only add or subtract similar terms. Similar terms means or mean the same x, the same y, or the same z. So those are the only expressions that you can combine. Okay, so how can we make this easy to simplify? Now some people will do it this way. Like they try to group all the x, and they group all the y, and then they group all the z. Now some people can do it directly from here. Okay, but just in case it's not easy for you to do that, so the first thing that you can do is to group all the x. So you have 4x, so that is your 4x, and look for the other x, so it's minus 9x. Okay, so that's your first group. And then plus, you have negative 20y or minus 20y, and then the other y is 15y. And then we have plus 8z and then minus 12z. Okay, so you are combining all, so you're adding all the groups. So this is the first group, the second group, and the third group. So once you group the similar terms, you can already perform addition or subtraction of the terms. So 4x minus 9x is equal to negative 5x. And then negative 20y plus 15y is negative 5y. 8z minus 12z is negative 4z or plus negative 4z. And then after that, all you have to do is to simplify the operations involved. Like in this case, if we have plus and negative, it means minus, so 5y. And another plus and negative, it means minus, so 4z. So this is the simplest form of the given expression here. Okay, now for those who can do it directly, so they do it this way, just to give you some idea. They look at 4x and they look at 9x and they do it mentally. Like what is 4x minus 9x? That should be negative 5x. And then they look at the y's, so they have negative 20y plus 15, so they know it's negative 5y. That 8z minus 12z, they know that's negative 4z, so have minus 4z. Okay, but if that is not easy for you to do yet, then you can just group them first and then work with more patience, and then make sure you apply the proper rule or rules on addition and subtraction. Okay, so that's how you simplify algebraic expressions. I'll be making another video in which you can see more examples on how to simplify. But for now, I hope you do understand, or you have now the basic idea on how to simplify algebraic expressions. Okay, so that's it.